Hi, it's Jeff Cable, and my goal in this video is to get you out of automatic mode. For those of you who have a DSLR camera and you have it in automatic mode, basically what you have is a really big point and shoot camera and you don't have any creativity at all. So what you want to do is get that camera out of that automatic mode and get it into a mode where you have some creativity. So the best way to do it is not to go full manual, because that's a little bit more difficult, but take the first step of going into aperture priority. Go to aperture priority mode by changing the dial on your camera, and basically what you can do is you can then change and control your aperture. The camera will then worry about the shutter speed. When you do this, it'll allow you to create much more dynamic and much more interesting photos, like this one where you can see great depth of field and good control of light. That's getting out of automatic mode. When you're in automatic mode, many of those settings that are set for you by the camera really are not good for you, and they won't help you take great photos, because basically you've got a spread of focal points which are there, and you don't have control of which focal point is on your subject. And your lighting, your aperture, your depth of field is all controlled by the camera. And you don't want that. In order to take a great photo, you want to take control of the camera and not let it take control of you. Getting out of automatic mode is really awesome because it allows you to take control of the camera, and it's totally freeing because as opposed to the camera taking control and setting everything up for you, you can actually set where the focal point is, what your depth of field is, how much light you want coming into the camera. Those are all really important to getting great images. In order to get out of automatic mode, you will have to understand the triangle between ISO, shutter speed, and aperture. It's not that hard, but you will have to understand that changing your aperture will control your shutter speed. Changing your ISO can change things as well. Learning those three things together will help you to take control and create the images that you really want. Getting out of automatic mode is a great thing. It's really freeing, but you don't have to go all the way into full manual. Full manual mode means you're taking control of aperture, shutter speed, ISO, everything. You don't have to do that. You can start by just going into aperture priority mode, which is AV on Canon cameras. And what that'll allow you to do is you're going to control your depth of field, and the camera will then control the shutter speed to get you there. You may have to understand ISO if you want, or you can go into auto ISO and let the camera handle that as well. Now you're only handling one part of those three parts of the triangle. To give you an example, if I'm in aperture priority mode and I change my aperture from something like f4 to f16, my shutter speed is going to drop dramatically. This is not going to work very well in a dark room, unless, the third part of the triangle, I increase my ISO to compensate and get that shutter speed back up. Trying to explain the entire triangle here in this video is going to be difficult, but don't worry, we'll go into more detail on this in a future video. Just knowing that little piece will help you get a much better image than you would if you were in automatic mode in the camera. If you look at this photo here, this was taken in aperture priority. You'll see that I'm focused directly on the eyes of my subject. Everything else goes out of focus. That's what you're trying to get. You're trying to take control of the camera, so you're determining what's in focus, what's not in focus, how much light is coming into the camera, how much light is not coming into the camera. So what's the advantage of that? Well, I'm determining how much of the photo is in focus and how much of the photo is out of focus by controlling the aperture of the camera. So just by using aperture priority mode allows you to take that control and get photos just like this. Once you understand the basics of your camera, you'll be so mad at yourself for staying in automatic mode for as long as you did. So take that first step. Read your manual, watch videos like this, start to learn the little pieces of your camera, and seriously, you won't be let down. You'll take much better photos. You'll be much happier. People will look at your photos and say, what did you do differently? And the difference is you got out of automatic mode. Hopefully this helps inspire you to get out of automatic mode, take a little bit of control of your camera, and get much better photos. Don't forget to hit subscribe here on the YouTube channel to see other videos I'm creating to help you get better photography for you.